Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. Time to review Early Man. Set at the dawn of time, when prehistoric creatures roamed the earth, Early Man tells the story of courageous caveman hero Doug and his best friend Hognob, as they unite their tribe against a mighty enemy, Lord Nuth, and his Bronze Age city, to save their home. This is a 2018 film, running about an hour and a half, and it is rated PG. This features the voice talents of Eddie Redmayne. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Eddie Redmayne, Tom Hiddleston, Maisie Williams, Timothy Spall. And yeah, somebody actually gets credit for being the voice of Hognob, and I always appreciate that. We all know Vin Diesel was the voice of Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's always funny. Okay, so obviously I do not see a movie like this in theater, so it's been a while since it was in theater, and I don't know if anybody's seen this, but it's fun. It's a kid's movie, and so I gave it a watch. I just kept a couple notes. Otherwise, I just sat and watched it because I really knew what it was about. When it came out, it didn't get as much push as other movies that were new releases at that time, but I did see a couple of commercials, and I could tell what it was about. So no big surprise here. I just kind of sat and watched it and enjoyed it. So I was a little surprised, even though I knew that it was about cavemen and the prehistoric time, that it started with a history lesson. Some of it could go over kids' heads. When you start a movie with something like a meteor crashing to Earth, you could lose a bunch of kids right away. I put down that I'm glad that it started with dinosaurs, so I think that'll grab the kids' attention. But then it kind of focuses a little bit too much on the cavemen. The dialogue is about what they're hunting. I don't know how interesting that is. I mean, you could either make it really educational or just avoid all the seriousness and just be really, really funny. And eventually it gets to be really, really funny. So we'll just say that it went that way. It does, for me, I thought it got really funny. I almost think that this movie is not so much for the younger age, that maybe teenagers and young adults and even some parents out there, if you actually sit down and watch this movie with your kid, you might get more out of it, to be honest. This is not quite a kid's movie. I wouldn't call it that. I just don't know. It's nice and moving forward for the kids. And there's a lot of funny stuff along the way, and there's some creatures that help out. But I think it really has more of a lesson and has more humor and has kind of a plot line for older than small children. The main villain in this one is no leader. I would say he's like the runner of the stadium. So he's kind of in it to make money, and he doesn't care about the ruler of the country, which is the queen. That relationship gets kind of confusing for even adults, but basically he's a bad guy that steals money and somehow got some militia to overtake these cavemen and stuff. So that's a little confusing on the common sense-o-meter, but it's not supposed to make sense, obviously. So it's fine. But I would say the villain is very hard to understand, and little kids are just going to kind of maybe, again, have things kind of go over their head because they just can't understand the French guy. I hate to say this, but it's the gosh honest truth. This movie is pretty much a ripoff, and I'm sorry that they couldn't come up with an original idea. They just tweaked it a little bit here and there, but this is what Space Jam is. This is exactly what Space Jam is. The crazy people from some other area, no matter what you want to say, you know, space or advanced society, come and invade, and the only way to settle your differences is a game, whether it be basketball or soccer, and the good guys win, either Looney Tunes or the Cavemen. It was an original idea whatsoever. So sitting through it, I was kind of like, okay, this is pretty much a ripoff. Why did they make this? And they keep making movies like this. And then it kind of has the usual ending where the villain gets caught by the queen. Obviously, she actually decides to do something about him, like she didn't know he was stealing from her or something. And then, of course, the good guys win, even though it was awesome. It was in an awesome way. Yeah, it was kind of a usual ending. So the only two things I'm going to give you credit for are having some really funny animals is the message bird and the pig. The pig got me a couple times. He was pretty good. He had a lot of character. The way they made his face, being so excited about things, and seeing his friend and wanting to do everything with his friend. And every time his friend messed up, he was like, you know, grimacing almost. The pig was pretty good. And then the message bird, I felt sorry for him, but he was funny in his own little way. So I'm just gonna give Early Man a B. I don't think it was bad. I think for what it was, being funny and moving along and having a story and having a plot and having a close, I appreciate all that. So I think a B is fair. If people don't get too much about soccer, you're not going to get all the terminology and all the reasoning for making this a big deal. But that does play a big part of the movie also. I just wanted to throw that in there at the end. So a B for Early Man. I hope you all enjoy it. My name is Danny. Thanks for watching. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy movies. Thanks, guys.